Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the I am, and in his law doth he meditate day and night. He shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth his fruit in his season. His leaf shall not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. Psalms chapter 1. And Joshua 1 and 8. And this book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success. O'Shea 1 and 8. Yes, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Yes, we praise the Most High for you, and we give God the glory for all things that he has done. All praises to the Most High. We stand in the month of Abib, and we thank God for his Passover. We thank the Most High for the ways that he had done the ancestors, thinking historically how he had delivered the ancestors from their oppression. Yet are we scattered among the earth. Yet are we still oppressed by the oppressors, people that have been appointed unto the chastisement of the children of Jacob. Not only them, but also those that are of the seed of Noah are oppressed in the same manner, in many ways. Maybe we're hidden, maybe we're not. But the fact is that oppression. They have manipulated our writings. They have manipulated everything. But the Most High says his laws, statutes, commandments, and ordinances. We have to realize one thing. These laws, these commandments, Israel is not a religion. Judaism is a religion. But being a child of Jacob is not a religion. Jacob is subject to the Most High, the I am that I am. As he told Moses, you shall say, I have sent you. I am that I am have sent you. So we call him I am that I am. There's so many names. People say, Yahuwah, what is my name? What is this? Some say they even had dreams. Are you sure? But what does the writing say? Now, therefore, he really had no name before Moses. People didn't know the Most High by any name. They just knew there was just the one God. There were many people out there. You might hear the pagans in the background hollering and calling unto the children of perdition to come unto them and enjoy the feast of entertainment. But the fact is that we have to really understand that Israel is the government of the Most High. The people are mandated to be governed by the laws that were given to Moses. He has preserved them through the heathen that you might find your way back to who you truly are and what you truly should be doing before him. He is your king, not Jesus, not Yahushua, not Yahusha. No, anyone is your king, but the Most High, even he who created all things. That you may be an example unto the world of what God requires. No, that's why I say you take that New Testament and you push it aside. Because even in its interpretation, even in its understanding, people have been manipulated. But God wants you to be prosperous. God wants you to be victorious in your dealings with your enemies. God don't want you to be cowardice in how you do things. No, he does not. But this thing here in their narrative and all their opinions through the New Testament have they caused many to become docile. And they fear and they come against us with this. So to put it aside is good, because now you can be a man and you can be a woman. See, right now you got so many confusions going on where the woman thinks she's God and the man thinks he's a king or a god or whatever. But the fact is that you're just merely a man and a woman. Or a woman. That's all you are before the Most High. A person that is to be judged in the end. Who am I or you to even judge this creator? No, he doesn't show his face. Why should he show his face in the face of those who do not believe him or will not? He showed himself to Israel. He's already proved his point. Many of you will just deny him even though you've seen him. You will deny him and try to even do as you do your own brother. Manipulate him and try to push his words back. And many are doing this today. They're taking God's words and they're pushing it back at him. You got something to deal with, my friend. But nevertheless, we're in the book of, now we're skipping over into the law. We're in the book of Leviticus. Leviticus is a book to the Levites. How to conduct ourselves toward the Levitical priesthood. What is the Levitical priesthood used for? And what is the procedure for the Levitical priesthood in different cases of Israel? You will note that also he will say, these things are unto you unclean. These things are unto you, Jacob, an abomination. And even those who would join themselves, whether you think you're Israel or not, if you are joining yourselves unto the Most High through Israel, there is no other way but the law. Your Isis, your Yahweh, no, he's not the way, the truth, and the life. The law, statutes, commandments, and ordinances is the way, the truth, and the life unto Moses. You got this one thing all mixed up. You're bamboozled. You're confused. You're all messed up. There is no definition in a man, but there's definition in the law. There's a measure of righteousness in the law. There's a measure. When we do those things lawfully and according to his commandments, statutes, and ordinances, then we are righteous before him, and we have a measure to prove that righteousness. But not in just the saying of a man, or I feel, or I shake, or I have a premonition, or I have an assumption. No, we don't have those things. Let's turn to Leviticus chapter 11. Chapter 11. Now you have to realize the law goes into different categories when we're dealing with the commandments. Commandments against idolatry is the first few commandments, against our not putting God above ourselves. In other words, man, beasts, earth, anything that's created is not God. And God does not want us to put them before him. No king wants you to go to another kingdom and cause yourself to put this king above him. You go to that king, you go over to that land where that king is, and you do what you got to do. But this is God. There is no other God beside him. There is no one else beside him that will give him counsel or anything. No, not even your Jesus, your Yahweh, your Yahushua, whatever you want to call it. No, none. Not one. You must get this through your head. Many are thinking they're following the laws and the statutes of Moses and violating the very foremost law of them all, and that's the law against idolatry. That's one all idolatry is followed under those first true laws. And then there's the other laws. The category of what? Thou shalt not commit adultery. All the sexual sins that man should do outside of marriage, and that is not included with the way man's supposed to copulate with his wife. Yes, whether he had many or one, That one, at each time, there's only one wife, period. There's a wife. That might be wife number 1, wife number 2, wife number 3. It's a wife. And he is her husband, one husband. The way that is done is not for fools. The way that it is regulated is not for fools. Because we get into, the fact is, either you're going to become a pool of man's, whatever he excretes from himself when he's copulating, or a man cannot pass on from one woman to another if he doesn't, because God even gives the man, should I say, laws concerning after he copulated. Wash. Same thing with woman. Wash. But the woman still carries that seed inside of her for a number of days until she reaches her cycle. Then it is gone. It's washed out. Now, if you have 3 and 4 men, then you... Okay, I digress. Either way, adultery, sexual sins. All sexual sins other than copulation between man and wife is wrong. Lying, bearing false witness, extortion, all of these other things, for Israel, they're wrong. Disobedient toward parents. You've heard where some have even come to the point where they dismiss their mother and father and dishonor them in many ways. It is for the children of Israel, it is wrong. Even those who would follow after the law of the Most High through Israel, wrong. Yes. Swearing, all that stuff, wrong. Those commandments, they fall under categories, and God tries to bring examples of what he is saying through these laws. Many of you, there are thousands of laws, we can't follow all those laws. No, you just don't have God enlightening you. You just don't understand, or either you try to find a loophole in the thing that you are trying to do. That's what you're trying to do. But these commandments that they're talking about are not really commandments. They're just topics that God says you will not do. Thou shalt not lie. Under that is extortion. Thou shalt not steal. In other words, if it's not yours, don't mess with it or give it back. Thou shalt not should I say, covet. In other words, you won't do any of them if you don't desire these things to do them. If you love your neighbor as yourself, you will not covet. It covers all of them, really. So the fact is that the laws are topics. They are topics. They are general statements. But if you read closely, you'll find out the meaning and examples of what God is talking about as you search throughout Deuteronomy, Leviticus, Numbers. As you search throughout those, and even Exodus, yes. Leviticus chapter 11, we're getting into the laws of what? Eating. You always say if you eat the right things before the Most High, you will always come out right. Many of you are not eating right before the Most High. You're not doing the right thing. You're eating the wrong things. Those of you who call yourself Israel or of the children of Jacob are following the laws of the Most High. We're not talking about Christians. They're pagans either way it goes. I don't care what they do or say. They're pagans. When you follow a man or a middleman, you're a pagan. This is also, should I say, globalization is also built up on a middleman. It's the Greco-Roman way. To tell you the truth, it is. Built up on a middle way. But nevertheless, let's get into this. Leviticus chapter 11, we're getting to the dietary laws. It's going to be more than one video. But nevertheless, it says, and the I am spake unto Moses, and saying unto them, speak to the children of Israel, these are the beasts which ye shall eat among all the beasts that are on the earth. Whatsoever parteth the hoof, and is cloven-footed, and cheweth the cud among the beasts, ye shall eat. Now you have to realize, and is a conjunction. Cloven-footed and cheweth the cud. You have to do both. Among the beasts ye shall eat. Now he goes on to explain himself, giving an example. Nevertheless, these ye shall not eat of them that chew the cud, or them that divided the hoof, as the camel. An example, the camel. Because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof, he is unclean unto you. And the coney. This is rats. Really rats. And they can appear as rabbits too. They all are the same family either way. Because he cheweth the cud. Yes, he's always chewing, and divideth not the hoof, he is unclean unto you. So we're looking for an animal that is edible, that cheweth the cud and is cloven-footed. In other words, you have to have both. Let us continue. And the swine, listen, though he divide the hoof and be cloven-footed, yet he cleweth not the cud. So this one here, he divides the hoof, but he do not chew a cud. He is unclean unto you, Jacob, not the world. They're not going to obey the laws of the Most High. They're not Christians. No, they're making excuses. Not all this other stuff. Let's continue. Of their flesh ye shall not eat, and of their carcass ye shall not touch. They are unclean unto you. Do not eat them, and do not touch their carcass. Whether he must mean when they're laying on the ground dead. Don't touch it. Israel. He's saying they are unclean unto you, Jacob. Those who are following after the law of the Most High, by way of Jacob. These shall ye eat of all that are in the waters. Whatsoever hath fins and scales in the water, in the seas and in the rivers, them ye shall eat. Now listen again, he's saying in conjunction. He says fins and scales. Look behind me. Fins and scales. These have to have both. Fins, as you would see on the side of them, or on the top, they were the fins. This is how the English translated it. They have the fins like a little, a dorsal fin, and then they would have scales. In the seas and in the rivers, them ye shall eat. Go ahead, have at it. Have a good time. Enjoy yourself. And all that have not fins and scales, conjunction, and in the rivers that move in the water, and anything which is in the waters, they shall be an abomination unto you. In other words, he's saying anything, shrimp, crab, oysters, they're not even fish. Some people eat whales. These are heathen food. You're going to get sick. You're not going to live long. You're going to have medical problems, even if you do live long. Some people don't. Does that mean that you are supposed to do it? No, he says these are an abomination unto you, Israel. Very few people don't. The majority of the world is suffering from dietary illnesses. And whatsoever has fins and scales in the seas, them ye shall eat. Go ahead, have your way. Verse 10. And all that have not fins and scales in the seas and in the rivers, all that move in the waters, and of any living thing which is in the waters, they shall be an abomination unto you, is what he's saying. He's not talking about the world. We could care less. But when we're following, you might not be an Israelite, but you're following after that way because you believe that that is the true God. and you want him to be your king, you want him to be your leader, your guide in this world, and you want him to redeem you unto himself. Yes, these are unclean unto you, if you would see God in peace and righteousness. These things become holiness. Yes, they are, because they're clean. Yes. He says now, they're an abomination unto you. They shall even be an abomination unto you, and ye shall not eat of their flesh, but ye shall have their carcass, even their dead carcass. You will not even touch them in abomination. Whatsoever has no fins or scales in the water. He says that's the only thing your ancestors agreed, not all that the I am said, that will we do. They said in Exodus chapter 20. This is the covenant. There is no other covenant. There is no new covenant. He will make a new covenant with Israel, but it hasn't happened yet. And they have bamboozled you, and that this is your Yahweh, your Husha, or your Jesus, or whatever. All the same thing. He will make a new covenant unto you, but not that which is in that book. No, that's just borrowed here and there and different places, and it don't make no sense if you ask me. Yes, the only thing makes sense is if they talk about the law out of it. They're good. They're really good at it. You read that New Testament, it will fool you. It did me. Now, he says, whatsoever has no fins nor scale in the waters is an abomination unto you. In other words, if they don't have the conjunctions of fins and scales, they are an abomination unto you. An example, catfish, boca fish, any fish, whales, dolphins, eels, just to name a few. And these are they which ye have an abomination among the fowls, and they shall not be eaten, and they are an abomination, the eagle, and the ossifrage, and the osprey, and the vulture, and the kite after his kind, and every raven after his kind, and the owl, and the nighthawk, and the cuckcraw, and the hawk after his kind, and the little owl, and the cormorant, and the great owl, and the swan, and the pelican, and the gier eagle, and the stork, and the heron after her kind, and the lapwing, and the bat. We're going to stop here at verse 19. And we know that if we do these things that are pleasing, this is pleasing, that we do not do these things to the Most High. And also we will be in better, if not the best health of our life, if we do these things after his commandments. Because he said in Joshua that you have good success, not only in anything, but even in your health and your relationship toward the Most High. And with that, we're going to say, peace.